right, welcome back, everyone. We have our first guest on the plaza. We have Britney Mumford from Delawarecan. Welcome, Britney.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Absolutely. This is exciting.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We try.
Yeah, we do try. We do try. Well, let's get right into it. Tell us about Delawarecan.
Awesome. So Delawarecan is a nonprofit that lobbies for education reform at the state level. So we focus on policies that will improve student outcomes. That is our solitary lone goal. We are part of a national organization called 50Can, who works in states across the country, from Connecticut to Georgia to Hawaii.
Okay.
That they all share the same goal: positive or improved positive outcomes for our students.
I love
Excellent.
it.
And you are the executive director.
Correct. Yep. I am.
Okay.
I brought my whole staff with me today. So
Did you?
just me. Yeah.
Look, I'm over there looking like
I'm
this.
like, really? I need them. Wait, let's bring them in.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay.
So the millennial marriage is okay.
I swear, I was like, oh, let's bring them on
Right.
camera.
Well, that's my running joke, because it's
That was
just
very
me
good.
right now.
That was the first time for us. That was very good.
Because I was-
Thank you.
So it's a one-woman show.
Yes,
One-woman
as of
show.
right now, I would love to have more staff. So if there are any donors out there interested in improving education in Delaware, always looking to hire new folks. So
Okay.
feel free to donate on our website.
Oh, here you go. And that is Delawarecan.org.
That
All
it
right.
is, yes.
Love the plug. Now, how long have you been a part of Delawarecan?
I have been there for about 2.5 years, but
Okay.
I've worked in lobbying and/or community organizing my entire life.
Okay.
I worked political campaigns up and down the East Coast. I did some public broadcasting fundraising for a while, worked in judicial nominations, and then got a call one day when they were looking for a new executive director at Delawarecan,
Yeah.
and had the opportunity to come work to improve the public education system that I'm a product of, and I couldn't turn it down. I'm super lucky. I love my job. I love the work that I do. I get so much gratification from it.
Right.
And just want more people to hear our message.
So what is your message? Because I see that you advocate from pre-K to seniors.
Yes, K through 12.
K through 12.
K through 12. So my message, unfortunately, is not as positive as I generally am.
Okay.
Delaware education is really in crisis right now.
Say it again.
Yes, Delaware education is in crisis right now. The national, oh my goodness, NAEP, National Assessment of Education Progress.
I know it was going to pop.
Excuse me.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
That's okay.
They do testing every few years to just assess where our states are at. And the most recent scores put Delaware's English language arts at 48th in the country and math at 49. We currently have 40% of the students in public education in Delaware are proficient on grade level in English language arts, and only 30% in math.
Yeah.
And those are just really staggering numbers,
Right.
We would like to see those numbers improve.
As they should, yes.
Yeah.
We have a lot of policies that we work on that we feel would increase the positive outcomes that we have here in Delaware.
Yeah.
Excellent. And that is it's a tough statistic to hear that those numbers are that low. It may not seem it, but that's low.
That's really low.
Yeah.
That's really low.
That shouldn't be that way, especially today's day and age.
Yeah.
With all the resources we have, clearly something's wrong.
Definitely.
And when you look at, and I remember when Ott and Ray created Delawarecan.
Yes.
Yeah, great guy and his wife when they created, because I believe they're educators, but they always saw that someone needed to advocate for these kids, right? Especially when it comes to policy. When you received that call from Ott and Ray, right? What did you think when they called you?
So my first question, honestly, was, what's a Delawarecan? Because I haven't lived in Delaware for a while.
Right.
And I looked up the mission, and I was just so grateful that someone was doing this work. And I was honestly floored that they were asking me to be a part of this work, and super excited to be able to do it. And there's folks in the legislature, there's folks in the community, there's a lot of people that are really focused on this problem, but there aren't enough that are focused at all on this problem. And that's the really big issue that we face. And a lot of the policies that we see coming out of the legislature are just not focused on student outcomes, not in the Senate Education Committee, not in the House Education Committee, and not in the legislature as a whole. So when we're not focusing on policies that pay the most attention to students, my question is just, what are we doing?
Right. So how does Delawarecan plan to address these shortcomings?
So we have some ideas.
Okay.
So we're part of the education reform movement. And what's really great about education reform is that it's not rooted in either political party. We are rooted in data-driven policies that are proven to work. So Senator Carper always loves to say, find what works and do more of it. And that's just a totally great way to legislate, right? So Delaware,
advice.
It's just a great way to live as well.
I agree.
Delaware has the third oldest funding formula in the country. Our funding formula was written in 1942.
A little outdated.
Just a smidgen.
Just a tiny bit, right? Our schools were still segregated. I mean, the demographics of our state were completely different. And we have a formula that is based on what adults need to run the system, not based on what our students need to learn. And until we change that, like the whole system is broken, right?
Right.
Until we change that, the Band-Aids, the small fixes aren't going to have a significant impact.
And that's the thing that I don't understand, right? I'm always hearing that people, that the system is broken, right? And I'm watching all these politicians, so-called politicians, talking about how they're going to fix the system. But we're still talking about the same thing, right? We're still talking about schools being underfunded, and we're talking about teachers that are not being paid well to do what they need to do. And now we're also talking about the education system, right? What is stopping that from happening? Is it the old guard that's 65, 70 years old as policymakers that's stopping the system from changing because they realize that there's more money in a broken system? I'm sorry, I just went on a whole little...
No, I'm here for it.
Brittany's all, sign me up.
So I would say that no, it's not that anyone is super tied to this system. It's unfortunately, in my opinion, apathy. Because we've waited so long to make this change, it's going to be really difficult. It's going to take money. It's going to take sweat equity. It's going to take all of the smartest people, not just in Delaware, but from all over the nation to come together and help create a system that works. And honestly, people just don't want to do it. So get loud, call your legislators, call your school board, just be loud about it. Our kids deserve better and they can't wait, right? They've been waiting for decades. The time was 20 years ago.
So what legislators are you working with that support this effort?
So no one doesn't support it, right? But we do have some folks that have really been champions around funding reform specifically. Representative Chuck Wocha has been talking about this for years. Wilmington students are often the ones that suffer the most under the current formula. They are in desperate need of resources. A lot of our single-digit proficiency schools are within the city of Wilmington, and they need more targeted, specific resources. But also on the other side of the aisle, Representative Smith, Representative Hensley, this is not a Democratic or Republican issue. It's about finding folks that are paying attention and are invested in being part of the solution, and those folks really are.
So how do we, I'm turn this whole thing to the agenda. The Wilmington Collaborative.
Yes.
How do you feel about the Wilmington Collaborative?
I think it's fantastic. I think one of the things that funding reform would do, it would give more autonomy to our districts and our schools, the folks that actually spend time with students on a daily basis, the folks that know what our students need, not people writing the budget in Dover. And the collaborative does more of that. It really gives control back to the city of Wilmington and the people that live in the city of Wilmington. And that's been really phenomenal. The number of people that we've seen come on board and be part of making that happen is also extremely encouraging. It's what we call an education reform, sort of an innovation zone. It gives power back to the people and allows them to innovate and try new things and new programming within their locality, and that's what makes it so cool.
Brittany, you should run for office.
I am running for school board in Appoquinimink. I wish I had
But
a
that's
hat.
a start. But that's a start.
But I put on my Britney Mumford Delaware resident hat before I talked about that, in case there's anyone from the FEC watching.
Well, I could see that you would be very, very influential as a political leader, but also you would actually, I feel that you would get the job done because you've been on this side of things for so long, and you see there's a need, you see that there needs to be change here. And yes, we are very fortunate that we have these allies within Legislative Hall that are championing education, but not enough. There should be everybody. Every single person should have been listed.
For sure.
Education is the key to everything.
I agree
that will
wholeheartedly with
resolve
you.
so many issues, especially with our youth. If we provide them with the resources, the education, starting with our youth and continue throughout, obviously, pre-K through 12, we can resolve so many issues.
Now we have legislators that support Delawarecan. What about individuals? What do you need from individuals to show support for Delawarecan?
Definitely. I mean, there are a number of initiatives that we're working on where we would love, large and small donors. We're trying to put together an interactive proficiency map where parents can click on districts and schools and they can receive in real time data, demographic data, proficiency rating data about those schools so that they're making informed decisions for their children. We would love to be supported in that way. We also operate a C4 or a political action committee where we do a lot of electoral work as well. And to be totally honest, some of these legislators, not ones I mentioned, are an impediment to progress. And in my opinion, some of them need to go. So if you feel like you align with us and would like to have a deeper conversation, I'm not going to say anyone out. I'm not going to call anyone out.
Don't call anyone out. They know who they are.
They do know who they are.
And the only reason I say that, right, and only reason I say that, and this is for another show, right, this is for the agenda, right, and would love to have you as a guest on the agenda so you can talk about policy.
Definitely.
Right, and what's going on. Is because right now we're in a state right now where this political climate, it means so much to not just national but state, right, for Delaware, and everyone's running. And with the communities, a lot of communities are worried about is people that say they're going to do one thing and haven't shown up.
Yes.
Right. And right now, one of the things that we cannot sacrifice or put on a stake is education. Right, or equity in health, equity in healthcare, right? So it is time to call those politicians out that says, "Hey, I'm a champion for you," but then when they get the vote, they're nowhere to be found.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Pay attention to what people say during election year and what they do. When they actually get to Dover. I mean, Speaker Longhurst has long been a huge supporter and huge proponent of mental health issues. When she gets to Dover, she works on those issues.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She secures money for those issues. That's big. We need more people that are walking the walk. Right?
Yeah, she's amazing. I had a conversation with her last week.
And again, we do have some really great individuals that are championing education. We know personally, they're friends of ours, colleagues of ours. And
eat at the bistro.
There you go. Actually, you know, stopped by Mimi Brown.
Also phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
She just came to mind. I love that woman.
You know what?
You better watch out.
Her
political career is about to continue to blow up. Shout out to Representative Mimi Brown. I love her.
There's some amazing women in Dover that are really championing a lot of these issues. I think you need to do an episode or show with them.
We have for the first time, we have all female leadership in the House of Representatives in Dover.
I love it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal. Brittany, I really see that you're going to continue with this. Obviously, what position are you running for?
I'm running for school board in the it's an at-large school board seat.
Excellent. And that's a start for you because that just gives you a bigger platform to really get this message out there. But I do feel that you need to continue because your passion for helping this cause and promoting education is needed. And we need more people like you.
Thank you.
In Dover.
I appreciate that. I really do. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my.
She should be coming back announcing her
your new
her
campaign manager.
For sure.
Volunteering me. No. There are many other really great people out there.
I've worn a lot of hats today.
That will do it well. But I'm really glad that you're here to talk about Delawarecan and what it offers. Now, how can let's say a parent take advantage of this resource because maybe they don't know how to or they don't know where to go. So let's paint that picture.
So a ton of different ways. So we run a parent fellowship, which is a 6-month program, and we currently have 3 parent fellows, 1 in Sussex and 2 in Newcastle County, and they work with us to kind of learn advocacy, but some of them are like super in tune already. So we meet them where they're at, give them the tools to help sort of promote our message, but also what advocacy and education means to them. We also run community advocacy trainings, which are free trainings that you can request. I will come speak to 5 or 50 or 500 of you and talk about the power of advocacy and just how you get involved. Because I think one of the biggest hurdles for people is that they just they don't know how to make their voice heard to people in Dover.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, like, they work for us, right? People ask me all the, you talk to legislators all the time, like, how do you have a relationship with them? Because I go and bang on their door and make them talk to me, and you can too.
Right. I mean, they're normal people.
Yep.
You just have to make time to have a conversation with them.
And they work for us.
And they're they're generally super receptive
Yes.
to talking to their constituents. I can't say enough about how accessible our legislators are.
Love it, because you can see them in Wawa. You can, you can see them at the Blue Coats games.
Right.
They are there. Unlike like big states and big cities, we can't really get to them, but they're there. So
Yes,
the thing is, and that was the question I was going to ask, is like, how are you going to mobilize and organize communities to go speak to the legislators, because it is a whole nother conversation.
Yes, it is.
And how to. So,
Definitely.
Yeah, so we really appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah, this was awesome. Now, can you skate?
I cannot skate. I can try. I think I heard you talking about the backwards only skate.
Yeah.
I had to get off the floor when that happened. I never mastered that skill. I also have like virtually zero hand-eye coordination.
Okay.
So I have a 1-year-old son, and my dad always jokes, I really want him to be a wrestler. And I was the first and only female wrestling referee in Delaware.
Were you?
Yes.
Oh, she's got many talents, doesn't she?
But my dad always jokes,
can't
he's like,
backwards
he's
skate.
probably going to play the cello, but I don't have any musical capabilities either. So he's in a world of trouble.
Okay.
We're planning a skating party.
Yeah, and I'm
party
asking
for a
everyone.
cause.
I will come stand and watch everyone skate, and I will enjoy it.
We'll be skating. Well, if you decide to take the chance and put on a pair of roller skates, you know that you're always welcome.
Right.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it.
All right, thank you so much, Britt.
Yes,
I
Absolutely.
appreciate
Have
it.
a great
Brittany.
weekend.
Oh, tell people real quick. That's
Oh,
your
yes.
camera. Go ahead. You got 30 seconds to 30-second commercial.
30-second commercial. Hi, I'm Britney. I'm the executive director at Delawarecan, where we work every day to ensure that every Delaware student has access to a high-quality public education. If you're interested in joining us, you can find us at delawarecan.org, and I encourage you to do it because our kids can't wait.
What's up, everyone? It's your main man, Big Ob, the talk of the town, Mr. DETVCH.com, and I'm here with my wonderful and amazing co-host,
Vincenza.
We just stopped by to tell you to be sure, if you want any information on what's going on in Wilmington and to meet some dynamic people doing some amazing and great things, be sure to watch us live on Good Morning Wilmington on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m.
Oh, Ivan, 10 a.m.
Which he said, 10 a.m.
Listen to me. That's why he has me here. But yes, tune in live, 10 a.m. Monday and Wednesday on Good Morning Wilmington.
DETVCH.com.